Welcome to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Self, where we chat all about real life experiences with real women as guest experts and real life solutions to common and not so common struggles that all of us women have, all while keeping it simple. In this podcast, we will be chatting all about hormones and how it relates to everything in women's health: mind, body, soul, fitness, nutrition, relationships, sexual health, and our overall well-being. This really is for the everyday woman, for informing, for community, for inspiration, for uplifting and encouraging messages in all of life's circumstances, from A to Z. This is real, raw, and unapologetic talk about what once was taboo and is sensitive to talk about, but I'm going there. And I hope you find yourself and solutions in this journey with me, where my motto is happy mind, happy body, happy hormones, happy life, and to simply be happy. If you like what you hear and want to work with me, go to thehappyhormonescoach.com and send me a message. Now, let's dive into it. Sit back, relax, grab some tea or coffee, and listen in with me. Hey there, welcome back to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Self. Today's episode is all about mental wellness in the midst of what seems like chaos all around us. Currently, I'm recording this episode in an empty room with nothing but my mic and laptop. It certainly seems chaotic around me lately, especially with selling our home, packing, looking for places to live in a new state, and looking forward to new adventures and a hopeful, bright future. That's what prompted me to talk about this today. Lots of times what we do, what we say, and how we act, there are people watching and listening. So essentially, we are a living billboard. I mean, there's pressure enough, but then you add on being a Christian or a leader in the ministry or a mom or an influencer and leader in your industry, and boom, the pressure intensifies. Think about this past year. 2020 brought a lot of unexpected, a lot of challenges, confusion, unexplained emotions, isolation, and just all around chaos, it seemed like. Who were you before then? Who were you during then? Who are you now? What did you do different than you did before 2020? I encourage you to journal on that and see what comes up. It's always interesting when we self-reflect. A lot of times we have the solutions or answers in us, but it may take some time to dig through the layers of safety that we have created all around us. Personally, I had my ups and downs. As an introvert, it wasn't so bad staying home or getting to hang out with my dogs more and just enjoying the tiniest of pleasures around the house that I forgot about busy because of my once crazy busy schedule. So slowing down was a blessing, but the downs were there also. I lost my aunt unexpectedly and couldn't be with my mom or family to grieve and give comfort. I lost my job as a personal trainer at the gym, which I loved and miss working with clients in person. That was hard. And also, as an empath, all the negativity on social media around politics, around the virus, so much bias and fake news and so on and so on. It just really got to me. I felt everything. I know you empaths can feel me. And it was almost hard to be true to myself and my passions and my beliefs when it felt like there's so many opinions throwing at you that you kind of lose yourself, especially in the world of social media. I had to disconnect. It was sucking all the positive energy I had left, but even disconnecting was hard because of quarantine and everything being closed. It's almost like you have to be online to get any interaction at all, or socialization. It's kind of like a catch-22. It was a roller coaster for sure, but I learned a lot. I learned how strong I was. I got back to the basics on my passions. and started to do what brought me joy again. And it feels like it's slowly getting better. I also want for you to journal on these questions. What brought you joy before last year? And what brings you joy now? What have you sacrificed about yourself because of others that just didn't feel good or right? And what have you sacrificed for others and did feel good? It did feel right. What did you learn about yourself during the chaos? Any chaos at all? I always say, if you didn't learn from it, then it was useless. So really, sometimes things suck. Life happens, you messed up or you didn't, but things don't always go as planned, and it's all for growth, a learning experience. And if you didn't learn from it, then it wasn't worth it and you didn't grow. So how have I grown in the chaos? What helped me to persevere? Well, personally, overall, I had to shift my thinking. When a negative thought came in my mind, I had to intentionally replace it with a positive one. More often than not, especially in the beginning, this was hard, but it was so worth it. I also read my Bible, kept my heart on things above, and again, that had its ups and downs as well. But it helped me. It gave me a calm feeling. I got off social media until I was at a right place where I set boundaries by unfollowing those that didn't serve me at the time, by not looking at my news feed, but only posting for business, by scrolling through posts and not having to make a comment, especially if I was upset or just because I wanted to throw my viewpoint out there because everyone else was. That was a tough one for me. That was the hardest thing for me, was having to learn not to say anything that wasn't uplifting or edifying. I was pulled in, I was sucked into that world for a while, and it just wasn't healthy for me at all, as I'm sure some of you can relate. Again, it was a mindset thing and a muscle of patience and endurance I had to build up. And now, sitting here with my life in boxes and bins, somewhere else in an empty room, feeling sad because I love this little blue lake cottage home, but also anxious and nervous to see what this next chapter of my life is bringing. I encourage you to reflect on your life as it is now and how it was. Where did you grow? What did you want to do that you couldn't do? How did you handle the chaos? And what could you do better next time something else comes up in your life? Taking the time to be still, pause, and reflect and get fresh air is a good thing. It's needful to your whole body, mind, and soul. And next time life happens, I just want to remind you to pause and respond rather than to react. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be on the road traveling, but we'll see you for the next week's episode. Hey, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I loved making it. Remember to subscribe. Oh, and sharing is caring. So if you know that woman who could benefit from this, please share and leave a review. It would mean the world to me to get this message out and start changing women's lives like never before. Interested in how you can work with me directly? Go to thehappyhormonescoach.com and send me a message. I can't wait to hear from you. As always, be simply happy and have a happy mind, happy body, happy hormones, and happy life.